Damn. What's going on, everybody? It's taking a while for this thing to load up. What up? We are back in Asuncion, Paraguay for a couple of hours. And then we are going to Brazil. I had to get my stuff. I had enough stuff, but I didn't have as much stuff as I needed to not come back here. Because I didn't think I was going to Brazil. So I left some stuff here because I was like, oh, I'll be back. And then I told you guys my itinerary can change very, very rapidly, spontaneously. So I went to switch out there essay, and I was like, okay, now we're gonna go to Brazil instead. So changed my mind. Thank you for the happy belated. So he said Austin is fluid. Yeah, man. Let me show you how much stuff I have. So I have entirely too much stuff, man. Too much stuff. Way too much stuff. Like, there's no way I can take all this stuff with. I can. There is a way, actually. But do I want to do that? You know, do I want to? Do I want to? What am I trying to say? Do I want to carry all this shit? Like, I was thinking when I was back home, I was like, yeah, I got 2 suitcases full of stuff. I'll just bring it. And I got here and I looked at it. And I'm like, hell no, I'm not bringing all this stuff. So, you need to store some stuff at the base city. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave some of this stuff. Because this is a suitcase that I usually travel with. It's not full. It's just I threw the stuff in there so it looks like it's full. It's not, though. And then this is my this is my storage suitcase. Now there's some things that gotta go with me, like those condoms, and I can't leave those here. So that has to go with me. And then there's a few shirts and stuff like that, but. And then I have these extra cords that are just extra. They're kind of trash. Like I'm not gonna use them. And I got these shirts that I need to fold up. And then I got a bunch of stuff. Not all that stuff is mine, man. It's too much stuff, man. It's too much stuff. So what we're about to do, I'm about to take, because I'm leaving this Airbnb early anyway. I'm leaving it 2 weeks early. So I'm going to tell them, like, hey, since, like, because he told me he couldn't do a refund, which I already knew that, but since you are doing that, just keep this stuff for me, and then I'll just have to come back to Asuncion. I don't need, it's just the clothes that I'm trying to keep, man, I really like. I tell you what the main issue is. The main issue is jackets, right? The suits and those winter jackets and stuff I got, that shit takes up an unnecessary amount of space. And it's heavy. So I could probably just take this hoodie and I could take this hoodie because I'm not going anywhere else where it's cold. Like if it's cold, I'm not going there. I refuse to be. It's an inconvenience to be in cold weather. You got to buy new clothes. It's cold. I refuse. Jesus, I was dying to get back to another cigar. So I'm gonna leave. Yeah, I haven't smoked. I didn't smoke that really that entire time I was in the other city. Chunk the coats. I ain't throwing away shit. Cause if I would have threw those coats away, think about it, it just got cold here and it was cold in the other city I was just at. I would have had to buy all. That's why I'm against throwing out stuff. I'll find a storage and leave it there. Cause when you start throwing out shit, you end up spending more money in the long run because you got to buy it all again. It's like saying, hey, can I leave my car in your garage while I go on a vacation for 2 years? Or just get rid of the car. Or when you get back, you got to buy another one. So anyway, just pack one bag and have Jason hold on to it. Yeah, Jason could hold it, but Jason travels too. And the only thing about that is I don't want him traveling. And then he got it like, hey, what do I do with this? My Airbnb host held my bags for me for, 2 or 3 months the last time I needed him to, so he could do it again. I see you on Nation Web Africa from True Divine. Peace, Austin. What's going on? Thank you. One cold city that I think you will enjoy is Bogota, which is the best kept secret. I think anything in Colombia is far from a secret. I think I'd enjoy Bogota too, but the word Colombia is no longer a secret. Like, I'm pretty sure there's places you can go where a lot of people are not at in Colombia, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing you can do today in Colombia that somebody didn't already do before. And probably more than one somebody, probably 10 people. How the hell is Airbnb holding suitcases? The guy that I go through, he owns a lot of real estate here. So I found him on Airbnb, but I've never rented with him through Airbnb. I just pay him on the back end, and I asked him if he had a storage. Charged me like $90 for like 3 months on the storage, which that $90 is cheaper than me paying, $90 for 2 jackets and all the other shit, and I got that bag. I'm not throwing that stuff away, trust me. Because I'll still be able to fit it. Now, if I felt like I wasn't going to be able to fit it, yeah, I'd throw it out. But I'll let y'all help me decide what should I take, because I have no problem carrying a check bag and a carry-on bag with my laptop. But both of these check bags, I ain't doing that shit. this is enough by itself. You could just put more in this one than that one. So some things that gotta go is like these have to go. There's no way you're not traveling with these. My shirts gotta go. This jacket can stay here, it's too much space. This jacket is gonna take too much space. This is a gym bag. That's a mirror for me to cut my hair with. This is an iron. I don't have to take this, but I like to have my own iron. It's small anyway. I like to have my own iron whenever I go somewhere, because I gotta stay fresh. So, you take one pair of swimming trunks just in case. And one pair of these pants. And the rest of that stuff can go to hell. Floyd is live sitting in the dark. You know what? I forgot. I'm not done yet. I got a bunch of stuff in the other room. Let me go get it. All right. This shit is crazy. Okay. So we got what appears to be a trash pile full of clothes. Anonymous, we're going to Brazil and there's no telling when we coming back to this city, so I'm taking as much stuff as I can, but I'm not gonna be able to. I could take all this with no problem if I was to bring that other suitcase. I just refuse to tote that shit around to 10 more countries. Like, especially when I start country hopping through Europe and we going 1, 2, 3, 4 countries in like 5 weeks, I'm not carrying that shit. That second bag will make you want to stop traveling. I could do just fine with this one. So, we got all this shit, man. I do not feel like doing this. How much are check bags? Why does it seem that y'all being forced to do this? What do you mean? Yeah, I see what you mean by living out of a home base. It sucks to live out of a suitcase. It's convenient at one point because you can just get up and go and you don't have no real commitment to nowhere. But at moments like this, it's not convenient. I'm just unfolding all kind of stuff I had neatly folded. It'll be all right. So let me ask my audience, because y'all seem to be experts at everything that I do. So when I fold clothes, should I put them here or should I put the shoes at the top? That's a kind of a dumb question, I think. I think I should put the clothes here and put the shoes here at the top. Yeah, we got plenty of condoms. Gotta have that. I'll start off by doing the most space. The things that take the most space, which is shoes. I'm not traveling nowhere else where I need a jacket. I did that once last year and I somehow ended up over here doing it again. So if this black hoodie is too much, I'm not gonna stay there. So we're gonna put hold on, where the bags at? So what we'll do is we'll get the shoes and put them in there first. What's up? Can y'all quit messaging in the fucking group chat? Put the shoes in there first. Because like I said, those take up the most space. I put my shoes in bags so the bottom of the shoe doesn't dirty up my clothes. I'm a get up and go guy. All that, oh, well, buy that stuff when you get there, buy that. I ain't trying to do none of that shit. Whenever I get to Sao Paulo or Rio, I want to open my suitcase. Well, really, I ain't trying to open nothing. I just want to set it in the room and walk outside. I ain't trying to do all that shit. Let's see, I think it might be better like this. So that's the shoes first. Yeah, that WhatsApp group chat. It wasn't distracting me. It was oh, you're laughing because it say ultra thin. These actually aren't that good. Like they're thin like they say, but the ones that say ribbed. See, I like for them to be thin for me, and for her they need to be giving me an extra push. And the rib does that. The rubbers that's ribbed gives it like an extra. It actually is exactly what they're saying. It's ribbed, so it feels different for them. Yeah, the ribs help a lot. You can do way less work when you have rib columns. I'm telling you, I figured that shit out when I was like 16. Cause they had the columns that said for her pleasure. Then I started looking at it, I was like, oh, they got like this little rigid thing on it. I got one more pair of shoes. Boots, lace-ups, and then I got some white shoes. And then I got my gym shoes. My Jesus sandals don't count because those are like the size of a damn sheet of paper when they're folded up. But it's moments like these, you guys, that make you say, oh, I'm gonna live somewhere for a few months. Like when you start looking at this and all this packing and having to leave stuff in storage, I'd rather just, I'm telling you, that's what I did when I was in Kenya. I had an apartment and I would just pack enough clothes for that one trip. And I'd come back and I still have clothes in the closet. He said, clarify you ain't been watching porn since 6. Let me tell you something. In 2005, I was 6 years old. I want you to tell me this. Was the internet out in 2005? I want you to answer that question for me first, and then I'll answer your question. In the meantime, I told you guys, lamb skins are the best ones they've ever came out with. Yeah, the internet was out in 2006, right? So if the internet was out in 2005 and 6, my mom had computers. Now, like any other human being, my mom did not have her eye on me 24 hours a damn day. So, I want you to tell me how easy is it for a 6-year-old to access the internet and view whatever they want. That's what I'm not understanding. When these motherfuckers that was all in my business, even though I said it, where those other shoes at? And they were like, how are you doing that? Well, listen, goddammit, I wasn't born in 1985 where you had to put a damn VCR to watch that shit. I was born in the internet age where you could just type a few words and it pops up. Completely different era. That's why when they were like, oh, I'm so shocked. What the fuck you shocked about? You shocked that shit was on the internet? They were like, that's shocking. Hell, that was 19 years ago, and I still don't find that shocking. It sounds like something that could have happened. Okay, so like I said, the shoes are out. I mean, they're in. So now, what takes up the most space and that you can roll up the least is jeans and pants. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna conserve space and put the jeans on top of the shoes and try to put as many shirts as I can, which there's more than enough space for that. Here. I don't really need these pants. Now you know why Floyd throws his clothes away. No, I don't. As much as I don't want to do this, I also don't feel like spending hundreds of dollars every. Because again, you got to pay for the flight, you got to pay for the housing, you got to pay for the new phone bills, stuff like that when you get there. And then I got to spend a couple hundred more dollars on clothes? Hell no. Do you speak Portuguese? If not, how will you navigate to Brazil? I spoke Portuguese before I spoke Spanish. I speak better Portuguese than Spanish. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, you'll see whenever I get to Brazil, you'll see how much easier it is for me to communicate with them because I've been speaking Portuguese since 2021. I just learned Spanish a couple months ago. If you want to be able to navigate through an entire continent efficiently, called Latin America, you got to learn Spanish and Portuguese. Because if you go to Brazil speaking Spanish, you're going to be very upset. Nobody's going to understand you. They're not going to want to understand you either. And they're not even going to try to understand you. I got a visa, not a visa, I got permission to enter Paraguay to get my stuff and then leave. I was in Paraguay when I gave y'all that news. It's just I can't stay. So there. That's all the pants. Now the rest is shirts go. Believe it or not, all of this shit is basically shirts. These are all shirts. What country are you in right now? I'm in Paraguay. He said, "Damn, bro, you heavy. You pack heavy. I thought you had all." Oh, he said all he thought I had was that Puma shirt. I bring my own soap and toiletries because, again, I don't like buying. I don't like going shopping every time I touch. I touch down in the city too often. If I was going to 4 cities a year, I would buy all the stuff, all the shampoo and stuff again. But I ain't doing that every 10 days because it's gonna be more expensive to do that than it is just to hold on to it. Even if they charge me an overweight bag fee, it would still be cheaper to pay that than to buy it all over again. Yeah, you said I pack heavy. The thing is, most of the stuff you're seeing right now, I haven't worn in months. Like that green shirt I just put there, I haven't worn that shirt since I was in Uruguay. That was in December. A lot of this stuff I just put in the closet and never took it back out. The next interview is nothing to do here in Asuncion. That's why I'm leaving so fast. Like it's cool and like it's. I kept telling you like, oh, it's cheap and it's good to work at. It's real good. Like you can save money. It's nothing to do. Man, the minute I got stamped into Brazil, I said, yeah, I got to get the fuck out of Paraguay. That was literally what I said to myself out loud. I was like, yep, we were gonna stay in Paraguay until July. I changed my mind. I'm not gonna be sitting here doing nothing all the time. I love it. And it's one thing for it to be boring and hot. Boring and cold is horrible. Where would you go to find a wife if you were seriously looking? I've answered this question a few times. I would say Romania, maybe. I wasn't there long enough to strictly judge it, but it seemed like you could do that there. Romania, Tanzania, Uganda, maybe Rwanda. Bolivia, Colombia, Brazil. You just got to know where to go in Brazil, though. Y'all think I should change it to some dark jeans instead of wearing these jeans? Because I'm going to be traveling with these. I would even go to Chile to find a wife, too. It's just in Latin America, you can find a wife in any of these countries. You just got to actually be there. Because, like, the whole promiscuity thing is, like, a real thing in Latin America. Like, chicks cheating and that shit's, like, very, very common here. More common than the States, believe it or not. Trust me. Like, some of these cities are designed for people to cheat. Like, they have certain places you can go if you're cheating on your spouse. Austin, have you paid for the Puma yet? No, sir. I mean, you paid for the Puma, okay? Oh, thank you for the super chats. Your couch look like Flyboy waves every time he cams up on the panels. I saw that, Will. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Weird question. Do you recommend condoms while receiving head? If you feel like you have to put on a condom for that, you are dealing with somebody very risky. Because the chances of you catching STDs from the mouth is like not that high. So if you feel like it is high enough with that person, you got a bigger problem. That's like you saying, do you recommend I eat my French fries with a fork? No, I recommend you wash your damn hands. If you're not comfortable enough to eat your French fries with your hands, you got a problem, which means your hands are dirty as hell. This shirt, I don't think I'm gonna wear this. I'm not gonna wear this shirt. I'm gonna leave it here. Or should I take it? This is like a button up. No, I'm still gonna book my flight to go to Brazil. I'm gonna book it out my next check. But no, we're still going to Turkey. Jason was telling me everything you want is in Brazil. Why are you still trying to go to Europe? As much as I want to agree with him, and I would just stay in Brazil, I still want to go ahead and get this stuff out the way. So that way, when I do decide to go stay in Brazil, I won't be thinking like, oh, I haven't been here yet. Like, I might as well go ahead and just knock out all this shit and then go stay in one place. Somebody said you might need it in Turkey. You might need it in Kenya. I'll take it. I know one thing. I definitely need this shirt. People in Paraguay are tired of seeing me. They probably saw me. I got here in December. I probably worn a shirt like 50 times since December 1st. Like, I've been wearing the shit out of that shirt. It should have fell apart by now. This is definitely going to be way over 50 pounds. But again, it's cheaper to pay the overweight than to buy all this stuff again. It's just, I got so much stuff I really like, I can't leave too much of it. Not as much as the blue striped one. You talking about this shirt? You think the blue, this shirt definitely got to go with me. Yeah, T-Dot, that's why you don't get no action. Jay Smooth said, how did you learn Spanish and Portuguese? Duolingo, communicating with women in Brazil and other countries that spoke those languages over the phone, and going to those countries and actually spending time there. That's gonna be the number. Like, I learned Spanish by being there. I never practiced it. I never studied Spanish, but I studied Portuguese. That's why I'm better at it, because I know my vocabulary is bigger with Portuguese. Like, I know more words. In Spanish, I just know how to communicate efficiently. But like, if you asked me to say developed in Spanish, I wouldn't know how to say it. But in Portuguese, I would say desenvolver. 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 Are different ways to say develop. So I could actually have a more intellectual conversation in Portuguese and Spanish. What blue and white shirt you talking about? You mean the white and black? This one? Oh yeah, we got it. This cannot stay. This has to go. I've worn this shirt, this set, probably 200 times since I got it. I got this back in July. I've probably worn it, somewhere around 200 times. No, I'm not even exaggerating. People that follow me know. I've worn that black one so many times. I have a green one. This is a dark green. I've only worn this probably 5 times. But that black one done seen every continent on earth. Literally. I done wore it in Africa, just about every African country except Tanzania and Zambia and Uganda and Rwanda, so never mind. I done wore it in Europe. Still smell good. Yeah, I legit worry about 200 times because that shirt, I probably wear it like 10, 15 times a month. No bullshit. Probably not that many times. Probably 10 times a month. Or maybe 10 or 15, yeah. Because sometimes I wear it twice in a week. Hmm? Nah, I don't fool with cash. Gotta take these because these are my hanging around the house clothes. Got so much shit I can't even put that in there. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to take all this, man. Some of this stuff gotta stay. But again, you guys never see me buy new clothes. I won't have to buy new clothes for another year or two because I got so much stuff right now. See, my Airbnb host just said, leave it at the apartment. He'll hold my bag for me. See, that's why I love these people. The next problem I'll have is whenever I get to Sao Paulo, leaving this stuff. Opening this stuff and taking it back out. So what I'll do is I'll take out my pants. Them shirts are gonna have to stay. And I'm just gonna have to look at them from the side to see which one I want because I'm not taking all that out. I'm not folding all this shit again. Y'all think I should take this Ghana jersey or leave it? The only thing that's wrong with it is the letter T is missing. I'm gonna take it. I like wearing this jersey. Plus, when I'm certain places and I wear this jersey, people are like, oh, let me take a picture. Let me take a picture. They think I'm a real soccer player. Just don't post that picture because then you'll figure out who I really am. And you might not like it. You might like it, you might not. Let me empty out these ashes real quick. I hope they got good cigars in Brazil. You know, it's funny because people think they're making up conspiracy theories thinking that I'm lying about being able to go back to Brazil. Like when I was at Troy's house in Kenya, I remember I went when I was doing his house tour on YouTube and I saw his clothes and I was like, man, he got a lot of shit. But he's been living in Kenya since 2013 in the same place from my understanding, so he could do that. I can't do that. Moving around too much, so the more stuff I buy, the more of a burden it becomes. He said Troy is a simp. Why you say Troy is a simp? Why you say that? Oh. Almost done. Do we need to take this shirt? I got my other African shirt, but do we need to take this one? So a lot of people are saying yeah. Well, most people. You gotta learn how to get girls to do it. Thing is, you can't really depend on women, man. When I was in Kenya, I had chicks doing this for me. When I would go to a new country, I had them pack my bag. But I gotta do this fast because I have to leave like in a couple of hours. Like I just got off the bus coming here and I'm about to go right back out. Because Jason actually invited me to hang out with him and his girlfriend and a few locals that he met. I was like, damn, I wish I would have thought about it. I did think about it, but I was like, oh, I'm kind of ready to go. And then I got here and I was like, oh, it wouldn't have hurt to stay one day. Hurt to stay one day. One pair of swimming trunks. So far, that's it. Boy, that's a lot of stuff. Y'all think I should take this gym bag or no? Because I have a carry-on bag that I probably could take. Too many bags leave a year. I don't change clothes at the gym anymore, so like I said, I can use my carry-on bag as a gym bag. Then we got our mandatory outlet. Probably don't need to pack this yet. I probably need to put some on charger real quick. And y'all said take this. I guess I could take this shirt. It ain't gonna hurt to take it. It's enough space. So the majority of my bag was shirts. And somehow I still end up wearing the same shit every day. I could take these pants too. Gotta take the honey. Don't need this stuff. As much as I would like to have it, we don't need it. These are clothes that I did not get a chance to wash, so they go in a bag. Whew. Okay, that's it. It is a lot of condoms, I know, right? You gotta have them in Brazil. Brazil has the worst condoms I've ever seen in the world. Like, if you plan on dating women in Brazil, you have to bring your own condoms. If you don't bring your own, you would take the condoms they have there will make you take them off. You will end up going raw more than protecting yourself because the condoms are horrible. That's all them high taxes and stuff. You can't ship nothing there because they got such high import fees. So don't nobody want to do business with them like that. Okay. I'm gonna miss my bed here in Paraguay. Yeah, this is definitely like 60 pounds. Hold on 1 second. Gotta take the cologne. Let me pack my computer bag real quick. Put my battery pack. Actually, we can go ahead and pack this. I forgot they got US plugs here. Almost done. Yo, that cigar is hitting me pretty hard now. My camera. Put this shit in there. This is my barber's cape. Y'all think I should just throw this away? I don't need this like that, do I? I could just throw this away, right? Or I could put it in my, I don't need to throw, I can put it in my storage bin. Because I don't even cut people's hair like that when I'm gone. Austin got his priorities straight. Yeah. What made you say that, Anonymous? What made you talking about how much stuff I got? I'm literally living out of a suitcase. Oh, condoms and Royal Honey, yeah. So pretty much I think that's it. Everything else is just like my toothpaste. I'm gonna take a shower before I leave. I don't know where my wallet is at. But I have all my debit cards, so I don't need this PayPal debit card. Might as well go ahead and burn that real quick. Now we ain't got to worry about nobody getting a hold of it. I haven't tired of too much stuff. Oh, that's where my wallet is. So since my bag is for sure overweight now, I'm gonna have to travel by train. Whenever I get to Europe, I'm gonna have to travel by train. Anonymous said, what was the last tweet about? Anonymous, you need to give me your social media, because you be watching all my shit. And I don't know where you at. Oh, I did put it on my community page, yeah. So everything else that's gonna go in here is pretty much, like I said, stuff that I'm gonna use to brush my teeth and all that. Bought some more cigars to go because you posting shit for engagement, asking. Yeah, I post for engagement. This is a travel size iron. That iron is like the size of my hand. Yep, that cigar has hit me pretty hard. I posted that because I haven't, exactly why I said it, I haven't been going on as many dates, and I'm thinking, man, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And I thought about it. I'm not going on as many dates because I've been doing like live streams for like 6-7 hours a day. And like I haven't been making myself available to get dates. And this whole time I've been thinking like I've been doing something wrong, but I just gotta remember when I was going on dates back to back like 2-3 times a week, that was also the same time when I would go walk around the mall for 3 or 4 hours a day and go walk around to every restaurant to see if I could find somebody to go on a date with. So now that I'm no longer doing that, I ain't been on as many dates. So, that is everything. That's my bag, my 100-pound bag. That's my carry-on. That's my carry-on, and that's my backpack. So it's just, essentially those two go together. That's one. And then that's the other. That's fine. That's all I need. I don't need a bunch of shit. But I forgot, your boy forgot. Gotta take the, I don't have to take this with me. I don't have to. Gotta take this. This weighs like a ounce. This weighs like an ounce. This stuff gotta go with me. So I guess at about 10 o'clock I'll get in the shower and get ready to, that's not a bunch of stuff. I'm telling you, that's like one bag because the check bag, the carry-on bag, and the other one, they go on top of each other. So when I roll out, I'm gonna have one on the check bag, one on the carry-on. It's easy to do that. It's a problem when I gotta carry around that black one. That black one makes me feel like, damn, I need to sit down for a minute. It's a 921. Shit. I was swiping on Tinder while I was looking at Brazil's. So I figured out another Tinder hack. I know no reservation said make your profile intentional and just put short term only since I just want to smash, because I'm traveling. I was wondering, like, why am I not getting as many likes? And, like, why is all these, like, chicks, like, basic? So I put it on long term, and then I also checked open to short. Now, look at, I'm getting, like, 10 likes a day now since I switched it. Before, I was getting, like, 1 at best, and it was from a fat chick if I did. So, this is one like I got in Brazil. Look at them legs. Look at that. Boy, this is why I had to see if I could get back in Brazil. This is one of the main reasons. I have 3 pair of shoes, probably 7 pair of pants, and like 40 shirts. And I didn't even bring all my shirts. I only left like 5. That's Brazil, man. I'm telling you, it's nowhere in the world like Brazil when it comes to women. Nowhere. Look at that boy, that nice brown. Who said we don't like black women? I do. Shit. You need to cut back in shirts. 21 is worth 3 weeks. It's not about 3 weeks, man. Yeah, I know what you mean though. 21 different shirts. But man, you're kind of right? Because I could have like 5 button downs. I'm just going to have to work with this. Anything along the way, I'll get rid of it. I'll donate it. He said even Ethiopian and Eastern European women can't compete with Brazilians. In my opinion, no. Because you got all you need in Brazil. Like that city I was just in, there's a lot of Brazilians that come across the border because they can go across the border in 5 minutes. And there a lot of them are like in medical school. So I was seeing like these super, super thick white girls with like ginger hair and, oh, God. And they was built just like the ones I just showed you, but they had ginger hair and shit like that. That shit is fucking sexy. Last time I had a chick on live, I was in Peru. I'm trying to not do all that shit all the time. Too much. Too much to deal with. Yeah, and they don't speak English. Damn, them cigars will dehydrate you. Shit, how you thirsty. Brazil is Portuguese, yeah. Shit. Yeah, I definitely gotta take a shower. My face oily. I don't go to gentlemen's clubs in Brazil, but I know they got some in Rio. I'm pretty sure they got them everywhere. My gentlemen's club is the mall and walking down the street. That was a cold statement. Austin should say that again. Yeah, my gentleman's club is walking around the mall and walking down the street. No need to go spend money. Cause one master teacher commented on my tweet. He was like, "That's why I just put when I was like, you can't chase girls and your purpose at the same time." He was like, "That's why I just put them on my schedule." And I'm like, that what he again? Like I was telling him during the live, like I understand why he says that, but like when I like to go on dates and shit like that. Is that girl from Brazil anxious to see me? Yeah. She wrote me like this long message on New Year's, like, you didn't come see me at all last year, and you kept saying you would come back. Nothing. She kept saying nothing's gonna happen to you. You're not gonna go to jail if you come back to Brazil. I was talking to her last night. But when I showed her I had got stamped in Brazil, she's like, "Oh my God, you're finally gonna come back." Nah, she ain't been playing with me. That's why I still been talking to her for 2 years, because she has been the most consistent the whole time. The one that I'm interested, there's the other chicks that's been consistent too. I'm just not interested in them like that. Sorry if you're watching this and I said that about you. It's just the truth. My worst case scenario plan for Brazil is see, there's not gonna be a worst case scenario because I'm not gonna be posting the same stuff I was last time. Like I might show y'all I'm at a restaurant, or if I'm on Patreon, y'all see some stories and maybe like an interview or something. But there will be no more public. Like I won't be talking about Brazilian women at all, because I mean slightly, right? But I won't be. I'm going to be very careful what I say because I don't have time to go through that shit again. Because, like, for example, that video that was, like, titled, Are Brazilian Women Easy? There was no women in the video at all in that video. And that shit was still on the news. And I wasn't even saying they were easy. I was asking a question. Are they easy? So that being said, I'm not even going to do it. Too sensitive. Very sensitive. Yeah, I've even had some dudes when I was on the plane going to India last year. After that whole situation happened, there was a guy. He said that these Brazilians blasted him because he was complaining about the fact that Brazil had a no exchange or return policy. It's fucking crazy. They're very sensitive. So I'm not gonna say nothing. Boy, that shit is hitting hard. That's because I've been smoking them other ones. them Nicaraguan cigars are undefeated. Those Paraguayan ones I had wasn't all that. Brazilians are very friend. They're very everything. Very sweet, very friendly to speak to. It's just when you get on they wrong, they like Kenyans, right? Like Kenyans are super nice, but as soon as if you say something online that they don't like, it'll be the end. It'll feel like it's the end of your damn world. If you guys go listen to that video when I got to Thailand after that Brazil, you could hear how sad I sounded, cause they was on my ass. They was on my ass so hard. I was thinking, man, I could never go back over there. I remember there was one dude that kept leaving comments, and he left a sarcastic comment. He said, "Oh, it's okay, you can come back to Brazil." He was just like, "Before you go to jail, you're gonna spend 1 month in the hospital because we're gonna beat you to death." I think I still got a screenshot of that. Yeah, he said you gonna spend 1 month in the hospital first when you come back. And it was funny. It was funny because I wasn't there. If I was there, that shit wouldn't have been funny. Y'all quit talking about Jesus. Africa is the safest place. Yeah, you don't have to worry about no crime or none of that kind of shit over there. Yes, chain smoking cigars might be crazy to you, but it's normal to me. The locals was definitely who you had to worry about. Yeah, it wasn't cause Fred was even telling me when I showed him I had got back to Brazil, he was like, "You can come back to Salvador, it'd be really risky." But then he said, "Do not post anything at all until you leave." I could go back to Salvador if I wanted to. I might go back just to see. Cause Fred would be on video chat whenever. This is like February of last year, and the restaurant I used to go eat at every day. The people were in the background like, "Hey Austin, what's going on? When you coming back? When are you coming back?" And I was like, I don't know. Austin, I'll be in Ghana Monday. Can you give me some advice? I need to make a Ghana travel guide. I need to do that. Let me write that down in my notes. I ain't gonna lie, I gotta go to the bathroom now. I could give you some advice on Ghana. Don't try what, Anonymous? Going back to finding a really good smoker is amazing. Yeah. You gotta remember, I wasn't that the entire time I was in Sweet out there. Yesterday, I didn't smoke. I smoked once last night, and it was one of those Paraguayan cigars, and you pretty much just smoke those just to smoke them. Like, they don't make you feel like right now. I feel like fucking throat. But those Paraguayan cigars, you can smoke those like they're cigarettes. You're not gonna feel shit. Yeah, those cigars got me feeling like I gotta take a shit. Stay out of Salvador. You got some American tattletales. That's really who I had to worry about. Cause you guys gotta remember the guy that had made it such a big deal in Salvador was an American guy. Two of them. Two American guys. shit. I even got one black American guy in Salvador. I met him in person and he was real cool, right? He didn't know who I was. I was like, yeah, I do YouTube. This is like December 2022. And I was like, yeah, I do YouTube. And he was cool. He's like, yeah, take my number. We'll keep in contact. I was like, yeah, we could meet up another time. And then a few weeks later, that whole thing happened. And then he got on a panel and he was like, yeah, he seemed like a standoffish dude. Something didn't seem right about him. I was like, bro, this nigga just asked to exchange numbers with me and was like, let's meet up again. And then he went on a panel and just like shitted on me. Like I hadn't talked to him since that day I met him. And I'm like, where the hell could he get this judgment about? He gave me such a different vibe when I seen him in person. And then when I was in Africa, he was like, yeah, man, you living life. He was still commenting. I didn't block him. I don't usually block people. Yeah, you living life. And Fred said he ran into him. And Fred blew him off because Fred was like, he didn't want nothing to do with him because of how he was doing me. He was like, he didn't want nobody around him like that, which I wouldn't want nobody around him like that either. But he was, when I first got to Paraguay in December of 2023, he put in the chat, if you guys need a consultation about Salvador, hit me up. I was like, nah, we not gonna promote nobody's shit on my shit. Especially after you talk, if you somebody I know, I don't care. But when you get to talk, as long as it's not competing with me. But if you get to talking crazy about me, you can't promote. You can be fake and pretend like you fuck with me all you want, but when you start promoting your shit, you ain't finna benefit off my shit. I instantly ban him. And somebody made a comment, it was like most of Austin's haters are young. They're not young. Most of my haters are like my dad's age. Young dudes usually be looking up to my shit. I've had a few of them reach out and tell me. It's a lot of older dudes that watch my shit too, obviously, but my haters are older. They're old enough to be my parents. Thank you, Happy Bosch. Yeah, they gotta be envious. They gotta be. Because I don't see... Even whenever the whole thing happened, they were like, people in Salvador were telling Austin to stop doing this, stop doing that. Man, them motherfuckers, didn't nobody tell me shit. Didn't nobody tell me shit. Cause like if somebody would have told me like, hey Austin, if you keep talking the way how you are on social media, you know, people could come after you, this could happen. I probably would have stopped. Or I would have toned it down at least. I'm glad it happened though, cause it led to me traveling around the world. Which is what I was supposed to do anyway. Yeah, it's usually older dudes that be hating like that. Cause if you're young and you're doing something that they could have did, they not happy about that. Cause they looking back like, hold on, I'm 60 or I'm 55, and this dude done already figured out what I didn't figure out until I was 40. Boy, time be flying by. It's almost 10 o'clock. How much so the Airbnb that I just got, usually my Airbnbs be $40 to $50 a night. Cause usually anything, depending on where you at in the world, let's say Latin America, you want to pay $50, $40 to $50 a night. Anything less than that, it starts to get too small or it's too inconvenient. What you trying to Google? Guys, I gotta keep pushing this shit though. My name is getting Googled 200,000 times a month. Last time I checked a few days ago. I need my shit to be at like 1,000,000 before this time next year. $20 a day, you could do that in Asia. Like if I'm in Asia, I have a limit for my Airbnb. That's $20 a day. Anything over that is too much. Like I would never pay. I mean, maybe I would one day, but I would never pay $50 for a night in Thailand. Like it's gonna be very nice where you staying at, but like you can get something nice enough at $17 a day. $17 a day, $20 a day. And if you sign a lease, it'll turn out to be like $11 a day, $10 a day. Latin America, an apartment. So in Latin America, the Airbnbs are gonna be $40, $50 a night. But the Airbnb is gonna be $40, $50 a night. But if you rent it, it'll turn out to be about it'll be like $300, $400 a month. And Anonymous said you should promote Brazil while you're there, and it'll be good PR. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna do that. Like I'll go see like nice excursions and landscapes and stuff while I'm there. But yeah, talking about women, that's out of the question. I think the least you can rent in most of these countries is like 3 months. Like if you're gonna sign it, like my lease in Kenya was only 3 months. But somewhere like Paraguay, they're gonna want at least 6 months. From what they told me when I tried to, and I'm glad I didn't do it because I'm leaving already. But they told me a year on average, 6 months if you're lucky to find that. Like you got to be lucky to find a 6-month rental around here. Yeah, 15. Like for example, the spot I got in Sao Paulo, because that's what I'm about to go to is Sao Paulo. They wanted $1,000 on the average per month for a 1-bedroom, 1 bath. If you go live there, that shit'll be no more than $500 a month. I promise you. So they really are winning like crazy off these Airbnbs in Latin America. Like the nicest real estate on this street, well, on the main street here in Asuncion, $700 a month, the nicest one. If you get a penthouse, it's probably maybe $1,000. But you could rent that penthouse on there in like $60 a day, $70 a day. The $750 one, you could rent that out. I was paying $45 a night, $50 a night, somewhere around there. 10 days, that damn near pays the rent. So if you stay, if you do that every year, at $50 a day, that's $1,500 a month, but they're only paying $750, so they're doubling up. Ooh, shit. Yeah, Airbnb, they charge it. If you do put a Brazilian girl, let her be a beautiful tour guide. Even a tour guide, shit. This is why I drink Gatorade when I smoke cigars. It's like it depletes your electrolytes or some shit like that. It'll make you just feel parched. If you want to know what happened in Salvador, you can Google it. Just type in my name and type Brazil, or type in CNN, Austin Holloman CNN Brazil. But anyway, I was just talking about the women in Brazil, and I was giving like dating advice, and they took it as if I was talking about them in a bad way, which was completely false. Like, I've never said anything really negative about Brazilian chicks, ever. But it was like all on the news and shit, and they did like a criminal investigation for prostitution and sexual exploitation, which is not against the law. That's why they had to. That's why they said they didn't have enough evidence for a conviction, because it's not against the law, nor was I promoting it. But I left. The minute I saw it started getting really big on social media, and like I was getting all this attention, negative attention, I left. When you do go back to Brazil, make sure you just don't announce it. It's too late for that. But I will be. I'm not gonna hide the fact that I'm in Brazil. Whatever heat I get, if any, for going back to Brazil, I need to just deal with it immediately. I don't want to have to be down there for 6 months and then some shit pop up. I would just rather that shit leave. You look guilty leaving. No, I look smart leaving, because in Latin America, places are corrupt. And in Latin America, they can literally just lock you up with no type of, like, they can just make up shit and just lock you up until they feel like letting you back out. No, I won't be a victim of that. What you mean they try to set you up in Panama? I'm in Paraguay right now, but I'm about to leave like in a couple hours. But you guys won't see me go live again maybe until Monday afternoon. So I won't be live tomorrow. I may be, but it's a low chance that I'll be live tomorrow. Yeah, smooth life. It was either, because remember I told you guys that the police came to my house like 3 or 4 days after it was on the news. The police came like 3 or 4 days later. It's two things. They could have been coming to question, Or they could have been coming to arrest. Who knows? I didn't want to find out. I did not want to find it was better me find out while I was in Thailand than me being in Salvador. But honestly, looking back now, I probably could have just went to another city in Brazil, like Campo Grande or Sao Luis, somewhere that I had never been and nobody knew me at. And I probably could have just stayed there for like 3 months and I'd have been straight. But I'm glad I did what I did, because I was able to travel to all these places. This cigar is one of my favorites. It's called the Last Call. It's the medium one that they have. They have a Maduro that I usually smoke, but I don't feel that's two Maduros in a row. I don't feel like, well, that's a medium and then a Maduro. I don't feel like feeling like that. That shit's gonna have me feeling like shit. A beginner cigar is if you're gonna try, I'm never gonna tell you guys to smoke because I don't wanna be responsible. But if you do start on your own with your own decision, not because I told you to, try I recommend, or I tried the, it's a PDM. I think it's Puro de Mar. And it's a Connecticut shade. Really, any Connecticut shade is good. Author EJ Wade, travel author EJ Wade sent $5. He says in Panama, the taxi, massage, and police all work together. I didn't ask to be taken there. I heard the owner setting me up to tip them. Sounds about right. Yeah, I would never tell you guys to smoke, but if you do, that's what I tried for my first time. But I'm not telling you to try it, and I'm not telling you to smoke in general. Now I got on some Black Pumas with this. He said I thought Panama. So well, any of these developing countries have those issues. Like Panama is still technically a developing country, and corruption is big in developing countries. Like the United States, you're not gonna have. They have corruption, but it's not at a low level. In a place like Bolivia, they'll even here in Paraguay, I had a local Paraguayan chick tell me this, but they'll try to extort you for like $50. In the United States, if there's some sort of corruption, it's gonna be at least 5 figures. They're not gonna try to extort you for $1,000. They're not gonna try to extort you for 5,000. They're gonna be trying to get you for 50,000 in the States. So the corruption is usually on a higher level in the States. Most people it's not accessible to. Like in Africa, I always say this, in Africa, if you have an issue, you can see a cop down the street and be like, hey, look, I give you $50. You go to this person's house and arrest them, or go over there and whoop their ass for me. And they'll do it for $50. But if you tell a cop in the United States, hey, I'll pay you $50 to go whoop somebody, you can tell them I'll pay you $1,000 to go whoop somebody ass. You will be getting your ass whooped in jail. They gonna take you to jail just for saying that shit. I told you when I was in Ghana, they said I needed gas money for the police to show up to the house. Like, what the fuck? I don't know if you can carry a knife or a razor blade legally. But I know in Kenya, if you carry a knife, they'll put you in jail for that. You can't carry a knife in Kenya, and I'm saying that from experience because I got into a fight and my homeboy called and told me he was like, yeah, there were two dudes looking for you afterwards. So I was like, okay, well I'm gonna stab one of them motherfuckers. I ain't. These motherfuckers ain't about to jump my ass. Yeah, I was in Africa from April to September last year. Did I get whooped? Y'all never seen me get on camera with no black eye or nothing like that? If I did get my ass whooped, he didn't beat me up bad enough. Oh, my medicine right here. Yeah, he didn't beat me up bad enough if he did whoop my ass. But no, I didn't. Broke my sunglasses. Yeah, I got into a fight at a club. I truly believe it was because alcohol was involved. Not on both sides, on his side and on my side. But more so his side, because I think even if he was doing what he was doing and I was sober, I probably still would have snapped. No, we was about the same size too. We was about the same size. We got into a fight over a girl I was dealing with. This is in Kenya. It's not like, oh, he's talking to my girl and she likes him, like, get away from her. It wasn't like that. Like, she was telling him, get off of me, and I snapped. I snapped also because I was sleeping with her without a condom, so I had a lot of emotion behind it. You know, that raw sex will make you do something different. You start caring when you're not wearing a condom no more. If you're not wearing a condom, you start giving a fuck. Because at first I seen her talking to him, and I was like, oh, fuck her. Like, she can go over there with him then. I thought she was feeling him because it looked like that at first, but she was like, get off of me, get off, get off. Like, she was yelling, get off. I was like, oh, hell no. You seem to get into it everywhere you go. You had an incident in Brazil too. Okay, so there's Kenya and Brazil, 2 countries out of 21. That's not even 50%. At least let it be half the countries I went to. Even if you want to throw that incident in that happened in Colombia, that's 3 countries. What other countries did I have issues in? Oh, no, it wasn't her. Them handlebar hips, it wasn't. But if it was her too, I probably would have did the same thing. And she had me not emotionally like that, but I was feeling her. Put them handlebars on me. Andy, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's one too many incidents for your age. Okay. So has it not been actually, I think the further we go back in time, dudes my age, actually, if we go back 30 years ago, I would have been gangbanging. So I don't think it's one too many. I think for a 23-year-old at the time, or was I 24? 24. I don't think for a 24-year-old, 2 fights in 2 years is. I think actually, if I was born in 1985, that probably wouldn't be enough fighting. Cause the dudes that I knew that grew up in the 90s, like they were fighting twice a month, at least. So I don't think that, I think you might have been living in front of your damn computer and you don't know what the hell you talking about. Hell, we was getting into fights more than that in high school. Jay said twice a month is an understatement. Yeah, the dudes that I knew that were growing up in the 90s, yeah, they didn't fight. There was no shortage of fight. You gotta remember back then, a lot of stuff people say online, you had to say to somebody's face. So if you was bold enough to say it back then, you had to fight. Cause like even how some dudes on YouTube talk behind my back and shit. Yeah, Austin, he's arrogant. He's just an arrogant son of a bitch. If somebody, back in the 90s, if you said that behind somebody's back and he found out, the next time he saw you, he was gonna be like, hey, I heard you say such and such. Say it again. And you had 2 options. You can either bitch out and say you didn't say nothing, or you can say that you said it and y'all about to fight. It's not like that no more. Now we say shit online and it's like, that's the end of it. But even when I was in high school, if you said something about somebody online or behind their back, if they saw you at school, they was still gonna approach you about it. Like, hey, I heard you was talking shit about me. And you got 2 options. Either you bitch out or you can fight. He said, no, you getting beat regardless. And that's a third scenario as well. Because even if you decide to bitch out, nah, man, I didn't even say nothing like that. Nah, you tripping, man. I didn't say that. He might know you say it still swing on your ass. So it's definitely a lot less fighting going on now. It's a lot less crime in general. Like there's nowhere the world is a lot safer than it used to be 30 years ago. 30 years ago it was 1994. Like dudes was pulling drive-bys and shit like that. If you guys grew up in DFW, you guys remember the fight tapes they had where in Arlington, I think this was mainly in Arlington that they did this, where it'd be a group of black dudes that would go around looking for people to fight on video just to do it, right? And I'm saying this from experience as well. When I was like 5, my uncle that y'all met, he used to it was another uncle that y'all didn't meet. It was 3 of them. They used to all live with my aunt. And we were at the house one day and some dudes came knocking on the door and they was basically saying they wanted to fight my uncles and them. They didn't know who they was, but they knew that they lived there. That was one of those scenarios where they just wanted to fight. Bro, people was just fighting just to fight back then. Like that shit's not a thing. anymore. And you said people would go to jail behind words. Yeah, no, back then when you would fight, if you would back in the day, if you got into a fight, you probably wasn't going to jail. Like that shit would just y'all would fight and that shit would get squashed. Like that shit was nowadays if you get into a fight, somebody gonna get shot or they gonna take it over the top like he's a terrorist, we gotta lock him up. You know that and you said it's because back then dudes were getting raised by their mom. So what you gotta say about the dudes that was what you gotta say about the dudes that was in the you're leaving stupid comments. Like dudes was back in the 20s, people used to fight. Agtown fights. It was something like that. Yeah, somebody gonna sue you. If you punch somebody now, they gonna sue you. If it was 1960 and you punch somebody, y'all was gonna fight or they was just gonna take it and that was gonna be the end of the story. Like back then, if you was getting like think about it like this too. If you was getting bullied in high school back then, your older brother would say, or your dad would say, or your uncle would say, your grandfather would say, when you go to school tomorrow, whoop his ass, or I'm whooping your ass when you get back home. Like that was what parents used to tell their boys back in the day. Now, if you get bullied at school, now it's a hate crime. And I'm not saying that bullying is good. I'm just saying back then, yeah, the shit people looked at stuff differently now. The world is a lot more sensitive than it used to be. But yeah, no, fighting was definitely a thing back in the day. And if you was saying stuff like what you just left, like, oh, y'all like to fight, like, y'all gonna fight behind words, they was gonna whoop your ass because they thought you was a bitch. And they would be like, we don't even want you to hang around us. Which rightfully so, right? Because if people are fighting a lot and the world was a lot more dangerous back then, and you got people fighting every day and all that kind of shit, and your homeboys like, like I ain't gonna, I'm not with all that fighting. Well, we'd be like, nigga, we don't need you to be around us. Cause if we getting jumped, you probably gonna run or you not even gonna be able to help us. So why are you even here? He said smartest thing was to always report up to the chain of command. Yeah, right. That's another way to get your ass whooped. Cause I know I wasn't even around, but I know back then, if you got into a fight and you decided to snitch, oh, you got another ass whooping coming. Hell, it's just like snitching nowadays. Like if you're involved in crime, let's say if y'all was selling dope, right? And you snitched. You got caught and you snitched. Whenever that dude get out of jail, either two things gonna happen. Either you was about to die, or you was about to get the shit beat out your ass. You had two options. Nowadays, if somebody snitch on you, oh, you better not try to retaliate, cause it's gonna be even worse for your ass. So you can't. Stuff has really changed a lot from how it used to be. Like that shit. Yeah, somebody brought up 6ix9ine. The shit that he did when he snitched on all them people, he would have been dead. How about that course, Austin? Did you drop it yet? I was looking at it on my screen, man. I appreciate you reminding me. I got to work on that. The dating scene in India, no good. A lot of women and good women locked up. They killed this. They want scammers and dope boys. Really, I didn't know about that. Michael Finch, thank you for the follow. I'll go find out though. Yeah, Tekashi 6ix9ine is still alive because he snitched in 20 in the two in what was it 2018 or 19 when he did that. He snitched back then. If he would have snitched in 1988, 1998, if he didn't die, he was gonna look like he was gonna get his ass whooped so bad he might as well he would have looked like he died. That's why prisons are full of dudes that grew up without fathers. Listen, dude, that's bullshit. Dudes have been going to jail for crime for since since mothers and fathers, since they had white picket fences. You still had to fight back then. Even in the suburbs back in the 50s, you had to fight. That snitching shit wasn't a thing back then. You don't think that those old mafia, you think those dudes that grew up in mafias and stuff like that, like they had both of their parents. Still was in the gang, still was fighting, still was checking people. Like that shit ain't got nothing to do with mothers and fathers. He said they could have been bad fathers. Dude, back in the day, you couldn't talk shit the way how you do now. Bottom line. You couldn't be cut. The thing is, you couldn't walk. Like nowadays, you got dudes calling dudes bitches on the internet. Like if you was to say that shit to somebody's face, even today, you would probably still get your ass whooped. It's less likely now. But if you was in 1970 and you called a dude a bitch to his face, y'all was about to fight. And plus, it's good to fight. Like, what? I mean, ask a woman, does she want a man that can't protect her? So if a dude walk up and disrespect your girl and slap her on the ass, what you gonna call the police? No. You will not have a girl anymore after that. It's been that way since the beginning of time, dude. I think there's more fighting now. That's because you're looking on the internet. On the internet, it may seem like it's a lot more crime and fighting. That's because they putting it online. And it's easier for you to find out about it. But back then, it was way more crime. But yeah, I'm about to take a shower. I already packed my bags, as y'all saw, so I can get ready to go over here to Brazil. And I will see you guys maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, I'll for sure see you guys Monday. it gets tricky if the dude is bigger than you. That don't mean shit. That if I your girl would feel more comfortable with you getting your ass whooped in front of her, trying to protect her, than you being like, oh shit, just walk away, baby. I call the police, or let's just leave. But he just slapped me on the ass in front of you. Like that's not how that. Yeah, don't get a girlfriend if you feel that way. All right, you guys.